Welcome to Vet Review. Today we are going to have a quick review of Humerus of Ox. So humerus is a long bone. It is somewhat twisted in shape and is the bone of arm region directed backward and downward. Okay, so like this. This is the normal position with the scapula like this. Okay, they won't match because they are of the different sides. Okay, so this is the humerus of ox. So it has three parts. Like all long bones, we have a shaft, we have the proximal extremity and distal extremity. So let us talk about this area first. So you can see a very rounded structure here, an articulating structure which is called head. Okay, this is the head of the humerus, and like I showed, it articulates with this glenoid cavity of the scapula and form the shoulder joint. Okay, now just after this you can see two raised structure, very prominent two raised structure called the tuberosities. Okay, so we have a lateral tuberosity and a medial tuberosity. The lateral tuberosity is very large and is divided into two parts. We have summit and convexity. Convexity is situated posteriorly, convexity is anteriorly, summit is here in the front. Okay, and this summit, a part of the summit will overhang this groove like structure. If you can appreciate this is called bicipital groove, and it provides the passage to the biceps brachii muscle. Okay, and this summit overhangs over it, and this is one of the features of humerus of ox. Okay, and here is the medial tuberosity. This medial tuberosity is smaller compared to lateral tuberosity. Okay, now insertion of muscles, this you have to remember. The medial tuberosity will provide the insertion of the muscles which originate from the medial side of the scapula, namely subscapular muscle. Okay, so subscapular muscle inserts here and it originates from here. And the lateral tuberosity will provide insertion for the supraspinatus, infraspinatus and the teres minor muscle. Okay, so this is scapula. Subscapular muscle will originate from here and insert here. The supraspinous muscle originate from this side, insert to this side. Infraspinate muscle insert to this round area just before the summit, or you can say after the summit, before the convexity, after the summit. Okay, and teres minor muscle originates from this posterior border of the scapula and comes here. Okay, now one more thing is left, that below the head there's a small region called the neck region. Okay, so these four parts are there in the proximal extremity of humerus. Now let us come to the distal extremity. So the distal extremity, you can see, has two fossas, two condyles and two epicondyles. So first let us talk about the condyles. So we have a medial condyle and a lateral condyle. Okay, the lateral condyle is called the capitulum and the medial condyle is called the trochlea. So this small portion which you can see is the medial condyle, and this portion which is divided by a ridge, it is called the lateral this is the medial condyle, and this one is the lateral condyle, also known as capitulum, and this is trochlea. Why trochlea? Because see, it is divided by a groove. Okay, so this is an articulating surface which is divided by a groove to form a pulley like structure, and this is called trochlea. Okay, and this is the lateral condyle, and you can see this groove will go forward on both sides, anteriorly and posteriorly. So anteriorly it will form one fossa and posteriorly it will form another fossa. Posteriorly this fossa is called olecranon fossa, and this olecranon fossa will articulate with this enconius process of the olecranon process of the ulnar bone during extension. Okay, so just wait a minute. Yeah, so like this. Okay, I am not able to articulate these because they are of different sides. Okay, that is why, but this is the enconius process and this is the olecranon fossa, and they will articulate together during extension. Okay, and now during flexion, this process of the radius, the coracoid process, will articulate with the radial fossa. See, this is flexion, they are coming together. Extension, they are getting away from each other. Okay, but of course they will not articulate properly because they are of different sides. This you have to remember. Of this, they will articulate the bone of same side, obviously. Okay, now what is epicondyle? Epicondyle is non-articular area above or just adjacent to the condyle. Okay, so of course we have two condyles, medial one and the lateral one. So we have medial epicondyle and lateral epicondyle. Now these epicondyles provide origin to certain muscles, very important muscles. So the lateral epicondyle will provide the origin to the extensor muscles plus one flexor muscle. So what are the extensor muscles that are originated from this side? They are extensor carpi radialis, medial digital extensor and common digital extensor. And one flexor muscle that originates from this side is ulnaris lateralis. This you have to remember. Why? Because the medial epicondyle provides origin to all the flexor muscles of the forearm region except ulnaris lateralis. Okay, so all flexor muscles except ulnaris lateralis. Where does ulnaris lateralis originate from? The lateral epicondyle. This you have to remember, and this is all for the distal extremity. Now what is left is shaft. So the shaft, you can see, has four surfaces, right? Like this, you can see. So we have the posterior, the anterior, lateral and medial. And you will see in the start of the video I said that this bone is twisted in appearance because this lateral side, okay, the lateral surface of the humerus has a groove, a spiral groove called musculospiral groove, and this will provide accommodation for the brachialis muscle, and the cranial border of the musculospiral groove will provide insertion for the brachiocephalicus muscle. Okay, these two muscles are related with musculospiral groove, okay, which starts from this posterior surface, but mostly it is present on the lateral surface of the humerus. And just above it, you can see there's you can say above the proximal border, or you can say the anterior border of the musculospiral groove, you can see a raised line-like structure that is called crest of humerus. And in the middle of the crest of humerus, if you can appreciate from this side, it is raised a lot. Okay, and this raised part is called deltoid tuberosity. Okay, and deltoid tuberosity provides the insertion for the deltoideus muscle. Okay, it provides insertion for the deltoideus muscle, and the crest of humerus provides insertion for the superficial and deep pectoral muscles. Okay, so the pectoral muscles are muscles of the shoulder girdle. Okay, now let us come to the medial side. Okay, anterior and posterior surfaces are not that important, they are plain. The things which you have to remember are on the lateral and medial side. Okay, so this is the medial side, and you will see one important structure, a very prominent important structure, which is called teres tubercle. And this teres tubercle provide insertion for three muscles, very important muscles, namely teres major, latissimus dorsi and coracobrachialis. Okay, I am repeating: teres major, latissimus dorsi and coracobrachialis. This you have to remember. Okay, this is called teres tubercle, and don't get confused between teres major and teres minor. Teres major inserts here. And how you have to remember, you can say teres major, so it is more important, it is prominent, so it gets a structure with its name, teres tubercle. Teres minor, it don't get any special structure with its name. Okay, so this way you can remember easily, I hope. And this is all about the humerus of ox. Let us just do a quick revision again. We have proximal extremity has head, neck, lateral tuberosity, medial tuberosity, and bicipital groove. Distal extremity, we have the capitulum or lateral condyle. Medial condyle or the trochlea has two fossas, olecranon fossa, radial fossa. We have lateral epicondyle, medial epicondyle. On the medial side, we have medial surface, we have teres tubercle, and on the lateral surface, we have crest of humerus. On it, we have delta tuberosity, and below it, we have musculospiral groove. So this is it for this video. I hope you understand this and found it useful. Please share it with your friends and like my video, leave a comment below and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.